good evening, Campfire crew. It's Tony and Stella. Stella, people are gonna think you're not gonna help me now. Checking in from the lodge. We have got a fish cooker, and we got it, maybe a couple of months ago, and just hadn't had a chance to mess with it yet. This thing is antique. Lord knows when it's made. I can't find any markings on it to give me any idea. The outside of the bottle says Hart Zog. If y'all know something about that, leave me a comment down in the comment section. Well, here's the thing. It has the old type screw in to the bottle instead of on the outside of the bottle regulator. So I'll be honest with you, I'm a little spooky of this old style regulator, and we have a new regulator that we're going to swap out with it. But the fish cooker itself, which is amazing, I just want to throw that out there. We could use this thing for a camp stove anywhere we go. It's got a big cast iron grate up on top. But let me show you this. This thing is totally stopped up with dirt dauber nest and apparently spider webs. So, and look in here on the vents for the regulator, it's also stopped up. So we are going to take this thing apart. We're going to clean it up, and we're going to see if we can rescue this old fish cooker or this old camp stove and see if it's something that we can bring back to life. So again, the name on the outside of it is Hart, H-A-R-T-Z-O-G, Hart Zog. And I was reading on the side of the bottle, and it's too deteriorated to make out the last date that the bottle was stamped. Because you guys know periodically a propane bottle has to be recertified before people can put gas in it. And I can see a bunch of letters, but I can't make out the date that it was last certified. So we will keep researching it and try to get all that figured out. And we're going to go research the fish cooker just to see if it's even possible to order one of these. If it is, we may order one just to see how close back to factory we can get it. But we're not stressing too bad. If we get a new style regulator, then we can use this same cooker on every different type barbecue grill bottle that we have, and then we can just go get one filled. So this is a cutoff valve tube. There's the cutoff valve. And this end has a little bitty hole. Can you see how small that hole is? The end of this little thing would come out and change it out if you needed to, but this end is called an orifice. So on LP gas or liquid propane, this helps determine the amount of gas that comes through. The cutoff valve cuts it off. The regulator controls the pressure, but that little hole determines how much comes through at one time. So it's only a small amount of propane that can come through at one time. and it's not stopped up, but we're going to clean the hole out, and we're going to make sure, I'm not going to take this thing apart any further because it's not stopped up. So this is a benefit on our part, but everything was put together and screwed together so dirt daubers wasn't able to get to this part. So let's leave this part alone for now, clean it up a little bit, and we're not going to take it apart any further. This is the burner that we had so much trouble getting off the other day. We got it off, but we can't get it apart. It's got a bolt in the center of it that holds this little part on the inside, comes out of this bowl, and this distributes the gas around in a circle when it comes up through this tube. This part is full of dirt. This part's full of dirt, a dirt dauber nest. So I couldn't get this bolt out the other day, but y'all know Nasty, a friend of mine, Nasty. Nasty has a vise and a torch and all that good stuff. So Nasty heated it up for me and got the bolt broke so that we can get the bolt out. So let's take this thing apart and let's see if we can get all this dirt and mud out of the inside of this burner. Gonna make a fine little stove. So I bought a can of Rustoleum. It's indoor outdoor paint, and it's high gloss paint, and it helps kill rust and it seals. We're gonna let that dry, and we're gonna put together the gas line while we're waiting for it to dry. So this is the gas line we took off. It has the old regulator on it, and it's got a means of controlling your regulator and your pressure, but the gasket, the rubber gasket, is tore up. So we're very skeptical about using it, and the line is in bad shape. So we're going to do away with this, and we're going to build us a new gas line. So this is the fitting that screws out of the back side of the burner. We went to town and got a few parts that we could rebuild all this with and convert this from being the old style regulator to the new style bottled regulator. Did y'all know a nipple, or a small threaded piece of pipe that's threaded all the way down, it's called a close nipple, C-L-O-S-E. Nipples are measured by how long the nipple is. So if the threads go all the way, it's called a close nipple, or a 1-inch nipple, or a 2-inch nipple, and it just goes up from there. If it's threaded fully across, it's close, C-L-O-S-E, close nipple. So we took the old gas line and we built a new one. There's the close nipple. The next fitting is called a bail reducer. So do y'all guys see how it kind of bails out or flares out on one end? So close nipple, bail reducer, and then I put a copper fitting back to fit my gas line. Here's the thing. I'd have to have a vise to put this in and tighten these up if I do them one at a time, or I can put them together and tighten them all up at the same time. So since I have threads on both ends, I can run it up like this and tighten everything up at once. Beautiful. Still got our cutoff valve. Paint's still just a little bit tacky. It's not wet, but it's a little tacky. Looks good, doesn't it? We've got the top still drying. So that's what it's going to look like once it's dried. We're going to put the gas line on. And this gas line hooks to a new grill bottle, so it'll be easy to manage from this point on. All right, we're going to let the paint finish drying. Okay, Campfire crew. We have got it put together, we've got everything tight, and I just brought a bottle of gas out and we hooked it up to it. I would not be afraid to say that this stove has not been lit in maybe 30 to 40 years. and we have cleaned the burner up. We've changed the gas line, put a new regulator on it, and this thing's ready to go. So, do y'all want to see this thing burn? A smart person would have done this off camera, but you know what? We all in this thing together. So let's light this thing up and let's see if it'll run. I can still got the gas on, it's regulated, and I control it right here. Y'all see that thing light? It's burning good. Let me get y'all closer. Can you see it in the camera? How beautiful is that? That thing is very old. So we took something that would be disposed of. Most people would have thrown that thing away, and I thought about it in all honesty. I really thought about throwing it away. But how much fun would it be to try to restore it? So it's up and running, and the next time we camp, we're going to use this thing. I want to tell you this about the stove. Oh, it's hot too. I bought this stove, but technically I didn't buy the stove. I was buying this fish fryer. So this fish fryer is a big cast iron Dutch oven type fish fryer, and it was made somewheres around the late 50s to the early 60s. So this thing is old, and it is in immaculate shape. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of cast iron. This is what we purchased. This came along with it. It was free, or the burner was. It just hadn't been lit in a long time. Another thing is, I showed y'all these bottles, and this bottle is still full of gas. On this side of this bottle, this thing literally has the date of 1956, and it also has a plus mark by it that's stamped 1957. And I really believe that's when the bottle was recertified to have gas put in it. So how old this is, I'm not sure. I can't find any type markings, but the bottle that come with it and the fish fryer that come with it were both from the late 50s. So was the fryer from the 50s? I'm not sure. Or the oven? I'm not sure. But I know this. It's a beautiful piece of cast iron. It's a beautiful little stove. It's hot too. It's doing a good job. It's burning clean. With all of the dirt dauber nest that was in that thing, it's burning real clean. All right, I wanted y'all to come along with me and see me restore or refurbish, whatever you want to call it, the old gas stove. Now it's very usable again. It's something that we can take camping, and we can use it whenever we choose to. So we're going to use this thing. It's beautiful, beautiful. It's got a cast iron top on it. Again, no telling how old the thing is. All right, campfire crew, it's about 90 something degrees out here, and I'm standing by a stove and I'm burning phlegm up. So I'm fixing to cut all this off and go in the house. But listen, y'all remember, life's an adventure. Don't get caught sitting at home. Get outside and find you something to do and go have some fun with, like me and Stella's doing. Stella! I don't even know where Stella's at this time. Somewhere in the shade, I can assure you of that.